This is a demo of using heat transfer vinyl to make a permanent design on fabric. You can cut out any design you want given a steady hand and a little patience, even one with negative space, as I will demonstrate in my next video. That'll help if you want to do lettering, for example. You do not need an expensive electronic cutting machine to cut heat transfer vinyl. I'm doing this tutorial because all the other instructions I've found assume that you have a machine when in fact this product is ideal for hand cutting, and that especially makes sense if you have a one-time project and a limited budget. Provided you already have a craft blade and an iron, all you need to buy is a $10 roll of heat transfer vinyl. I'm using Sizer Easy Weed heat transfer vinyl, and there's a link below. Let's get started. First, draw or print out a design and cut it out with your craft blade. My intention with this project was to cover up a logo on a reflective vest, so I took care to ensure the Batman logo was big enough to cover it. Always use a sharp, new blade to cut the vinyl. Next, I taped the design to the dull side of the heat transfer vinyl and moved the tape around as I cut it, with my sharp, new blade. Permanent marker will show up pretty well, even on this black vinyl, so that is another option to trace and cut. Now, the shiny side of the vinyl is a backing that you're going to peel off. For this project, it likely would have been fine to work on that side, but that won't be the case when you level up to designs with negative space. Just remember that if your design is not symmetrical and you are working on the dull side, as you'll have to with negative space designs, you need to flip your design because it will end up reversed. Do small tests on scrap fabric before ironing. No steam. So now you have an iron-on patch, basically. Put your textile victim on a hard, heat-tolerant surface. In other words, not your ironing board and not a plastic cutting mat. Try a wooden board or a tile. A few words about ironing. If your iron is too hot, your design may get distorted. If your iron is too cool and you don't press long enough, your design may start to peel in the wash. Also, steam can ruin your transfer. Empty your iron of water and make sure it's really dry before starting. Do not let that scare you, of course. Just do some simple tests before you start. Try different iron settings on a scrap piece of fabric and vinyl. If you're ironing onto a synthetic fabric, find a synthetic scrap of fabric to test on, or an inconspicuous part of the garment that you're using. Sizer's directions are to set your iron dial between cotton and linen, and press down on each part of your design for 10 to 15 seconds. I was working on a synthetic fabric, so I couldn't use a high heat setting. I ended up using a lower setting and just pressing it for longer. Careful not to burn yourself. You might want to wait a while, unlike I did, before peeling off the clear backing. You're done, Batman. Go fight crime. And if you want to learn how to do those designs with negative space, look for my next video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more art and craft demos.